Chef Curtis Stone is joining us from LA to cook a recipe from his homeland of Australia. Chef, usually you're here in the studio with me, but I'm glad we can still connect. Now, you have moved around to many different places. Tell us how many places you've lived in since you left Australia.
Well, I lived in Australia until I was in my early 20s, and then I moved to London for 10 years, and I went there to cook, and then I came to the States. But you know what? When you're from a place like Australia, it's always your home, and it's such a beautiful joint. And I'm proud to share some of the beautiful food that comes out of Australia with you today.
Oh, I'm so excited because this recipe sounds so hearty. So you're going to prepare a delicious beef shin stout and onion pie, which sounds so good. Where do we start with this one?
Okay, so I already made the braise for you, which is this beautiful beef braise. And I used some bacon lardons, some black beer, so that stout that you talk about, beef shin, which is the same cut as osso buco. But I've braised it all. It takes several hours, and then I let it cool down, right? But I've got the recipe for everyone if anyone wants to go. But the truth is, you could use any kind of beef stew that you like, and you could use that as a pie filling too. The next step is, of course, making the crust. So you make the crust, you roll it out, and I'll put it into this like little casserole pan. Now, I was recently filming my new show. It's called Field Trip, and we went to Victoria, which is the state I grew up in, which was so fun because I got to take the American crew that we shoot the show with back to my home, which was just beautiful. We went and visited an incredible rancher named David Blackmore, who produces some of the best Wagyu beef on the planet. And, you know, Australia is really known for its beef production. We have a lot of beautiful grazing lands. And, I mean, the country's so nice. But to go and visit some of the wine regions in Victoria and hang out on the beaches, it was really, really fun. So then what I do is I go ahead and I just egg wash the sides of the pie. And then this is a cool little technique. Once you've got that done, you grab the top. So you roll out some more of that pie dough, and then you bring it over the top of the pie like that. Then you have to connect it, right? So you literally get in there and you squeeze those two pieces of pastry together all the way around.
Nice.
Right? So trim it up. So grab yourself some scissors, and these are kitchen scissors, of course, that I only use in the kitchen. I didn't steal them off my wife's dressmaking table, I promise.
We believe you. We believe you.
You go around, you snip that dough like that. And, of course, the scissor is doing that. So it's really pushing the dough together, which is awesome. Then you can kind of just fold it back in a little like so. Then, of course, you want to egg wash the top. So get that egg and give it a good old wash. I actually give it 2 coats, but I'm being a total pie nerd right now, okay? I brush it once with the egg, I put it in the fridge, and then, of course, when it comes out, you can garnish it with whatever you want, some sesame seeds or some freshly ground black pepper. It goes into the oven. Now, it only takes about 40 minutes, and at 375. So, of course, I cheated, and I baked one off for you.
Of course you did.
And here it is.
We love that.
You know me.
Yeah.
That's TV chefs for you. We can't help ourselves. Now, to unmold this pie, here's what you do. You basically put your hand over the top like that. You might want to let it cool for just a minute when it comes out of the oven. But you can flip the pan right over, and you see this beautiful crust. And again, you just go straight on down like that. We always serve our pies in Australia with ketchup or tomato sauce, we call it, which is what I've got right here. But let me break into it for you.
Let's break into that pie.
Yeah, cut yourself a nice slice. And, I mean, have a look at how steamy and wonderful that is. Just delicious.
It looks amazing, and I feel like all of us here in Canada can very much appreciate any kind of ketchup or ketchup substitute. We were about the ketchup in this country, so I like that as a side for the sauce. Now, we do have the recipe. We're putting it on our website, cityline.tv, and I want to mention to people, when you're doing the recipe, you will find that there's a lot of stout in this, which is great. But for folks that maybe want to stay away from any kind of alcohol, is there anything you would suggest as a substitution?
Look, you can use beef broth, so that stock will do the exact same job. Of course, the stout brings a little bitterness. So if you're going to use beef broth, maybe put a little red wine vinegar in there as well, and then that'll brighten it up so you'll get the richness from the beef. And then, of course, you'll get the acidity from the vinegar. Of course, I'm getting it from the stout, and that gives you a beautiful colour. But there's no rules. You can substitute until your heart's content.
Absolutely. Go on, take a bite.
Do you mind?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go for
I
it.
stand in front of a pie. I've got to stick it in my mouth.
You got to do it. My kids think I'm very cool because you did that junior chef show. They watch that and they're like, oh, you know that guy? So thank you for that. You made me cool. But I want to know how the family is doing because this pandemic is global. How's it going with everyone at your house?
Look, my boys, certainly in the early stages of the pandemic, to be honest with you, they thought it was wonderful. Their parents were home all the time. I never traveled. I was home for dinner every night because I wasn't in the restaurants. You've got to make the most of it. And I think we're at home more than ever. We're cooking more than ever. And home-cooked food always brings something amazing. So, you know, to me, you've got to see the positive and you've got to sort of keep going. My wife's always positive. She's amazing. She's an actress and she's still been working throughout the pandemic here and there. Of course, some of her productions have been shut down, but it's been... you know, it's been a nice time that we've sort of gotten to spend with each other.
Yeah, we got to take the silver lining wherever we can, and family bonding time has actually been quite amazing. It's the screen time I have issues with, but we'll deal with that on the other side of it, right? Chef, always a pleasure to have you. When this is all done, will you come and visit me?
I would love to. I love coming. I've got so many friends up there in Canada, so whenever I'm there, I always have a blast. And don't cheat yourself. Go and make this pie because it's really good.
Make the pie, everyone. Those are good parting words there. Thanks, Chef.